Eastern European DPC Division 2 is slowly coming to an end, including this day today. We have 3 more days. So after we're done with this day, it's only gonna be 2 more days left of the Dota action here in Eastern Europe. That's not counting the tiebreakers, which we will probably have just a day after we are done. So probably on the June the 28th. Today though, on June the 24th, we have 2 series, Navi versus Cybercats, and then we will have Team Sexy versus Navi Junior. So the first series, the one that we're going to be looking at here, Navi versus Cybercats. Cybercats 7th, Navi 1st, probably going to be a 2-0. How fast it's going to be, we don't know. Of course, Cybercats, they do have some strong players that have done okay-ish in Division 1, but it is not a... not something that we need to take into account, considering the recent results. The team just hasn't been doing the greatest. It has only played 4 series though, so it has 3 more in these next 3 days. Cybercats are going to be playing every single day, so they do have a chance to stay in. One thing is though that Shigetsu, he did used to play for Cybercats for a very long time. Maybe, just maybe, it's gonna be a little bit of a nostalgia hit for him, and he might not perform up to standards. But hopefully that's not gonna be the case, and we see both of the teams at their absolute best in this series. So it is going to be quite interesting to see how well Cybercats can hold their own now versus Navi, because this is the team to beat, and this is probably the team that isn't gonna get beat at all, because they are absolutely stomping on everybody. They only lost 1 game so far. It was versus Navi Junior, and you could say maybe it was because Navi Junior knew some of their tactics, some of the things that they wanted to play, and had ideas of how to deal with it properly. With that being said, we will get ourselves into the draft here. We're seeing that the bans are slightly changing, but the techies, bat riders and such are still on the menu. As something you want to get rid of as Cybercats, they get rid of the Storm. I want to see, I feel like, yeah, the Storm has been doing okay, 57% win, as Pugna started off on the wrong foot, but is now at 50% as well. There's 22 picks of the Pugna. The biggest one, of course, is the techies. He's been picked 34 times, but his win rate has gone down significantly below 50%, so that is a big deal. You can see how I'm talking only about a handful of heroes. That's because only a handful of heroes are really being picked all that often, and the Pugna will come out now. Cybercats, they will open up with that hero. Interesting.
Respect.
Interesting for sure. I'm a fan of the Pugna, to be honest. Like, it's so cool in some fights. The heroes are getting low, and suddenly you have this guy that is keeping them alive and keeping them alive, and in the end, you just turn the fight completely on its head, just with one hero positioning himself that nicely. And you know, usually people are used to, oh, there's an oracle, we need to hunt him, or something along those lines. For a Pugna, not so much, and I'm actually surprised that's not the case, considering how often the hero has been played. There's a hero that has been making some waves coming back into the meta. The Rubik has really not been that popular at the start of 733, but now as time progresses, more and more heroes are on position 4 are kind of becoming weaker, and people are figuring them out, so they're just going with the tried and true, as we see a Magnus. But speaking about making waves, there is one guy that has been making the biggest ones, and that's the Morphling versus the Magnus. Turn into him, take away his stats. If you have an Aghanim Scepter, have the Empower and just crush everybody with the overwhelming damage. The Morphling has been looking really good in the past couple of weeks in the DPC, across other tournaments as well. The hero has been looking amazing, and the thing is, here in Eastern Europe, he has only been picked 6 times and only won 1 game. So in Eastern European DPC Division 2 in general, this hero has sucked, right? Completely worthless, you could say, when you pick it that low amount of times, and you're losing still, which is weird. Because we have seen Void Spirits, we have seen Magnuses. That's immediately a reason to pick the Morphling. But it seems like at that point, when people were picking it at the start, they weren't really, you could say, they didn't really have an idea of how to really approach the hero and approach playing against some of these universal heroes. The Undying will get banned out. That hero hasn't been looking the greatest, but with the Morphling coming back into the meta, so has the Undying. He has returned, and people have been going for first item shard, just saving people with the Tombstone, which has really changed a lot of team fights, I have to say, because the save range for the Tombstone is quite high. You can be pretty far back with the Undying. You can place the Tombstone a little bit farther from yourself, and the range at which you can pick people up inside of the Tombstone is actually it's solid, right? You don't have to be right next to the Tombstone itself. As Navi, they will get rid of the Beastmaster. We haven't seen many Beastmasters lately across all regions, across all DPCs. The hero has been struggling, especially when the better team is playing against a significantly worse one, which I think could be the case here between Navi and cybercats. But I guess they don't want to be playing any strong safe laners, might be the case. Shigetsu also likes to rotate quite a lot rather than pressure the lane himself, so it does make sense that you get rid of the Beastmaster because of that. And maybe they're gunning for the Juggernaut, right? Because against the Morphling, unlikely, but the Jugger has been looking good, and it is a hero that Shigetsu likes to play in general. The type of hero. So Navi, they have one more ban left. I like that cybercats banned out the Pango. I don't like that they didn't ban it out early on. Melojule on a Storm and the Pango, he's a beast. On other heroes, he's good, but it is nowhere close. So I'm liking that this one was taken away, because it feels way too easy when he's playing the Pango. He loses the mid lane every single time because the Pango can be dealt with during the laning stage, but then as the game progresses, it just starts destroying everybody. Spirit Breaker comes out. This could be a good Shadow Demon game. The thing is, if you feel confident enough to pick a Shadow Demon Pugna, you're gonna have really bad ways of team fight, right? Unless you have a really strong frontliner. Another option is an Enchantress, but the idea is the same. Your team fight is just not going to be good enough. They will go for an Ember. I like that. Good dodge for the Spirit Breaker. This is most likely going to be a position 5 Spirit Breaker, because offlane Magnus, 4 Rubik, and the 5 Spirit Breaker with potentially some range hero. It would be cool if they play like a Drow. I would like a Drow here, to be honest. Just by the looks of it, deals pretty well with all of these heroes. And there's the Shadow Demon, a counter to the Spirit Breaker. I don't know if I like it, because if the Ember isn't popping off, you are in trouble. And Navi, they could go for an Ember counter right now, like pick up a Viper or something along those lines, just make sure he's having a bad time, but they will go for the Muerta. Shigetsu has been playing this. We have seen a couple of those come out here in the Eastern European DPC. Lanes well with the Spirit Breaker, later on does a lot of damage. Really, no... This hero doesn't do anything specifically strong, apart from, you know, when you get the shard, those heals coming through with your ulti are actually quite powerful. So they'll ban out the Snapfire. That's a good hero versus the Ember in lane. I like it. It's a good hero to deal with illusions of the Shadow Demon as well. Doesn't really care much about the Demonic Purge. Universal hero means that it benefits from the Empower quite a lot as well. They ban out the Axe. Yeah. Cybercats, they definitely need something that's gonna be doing the jump, right? Ember can do the damage, but he cannot really get that close. If you get close versus the Rubik's Spirit Breaker, you will not move, you will die. The Shadow Demon won't be able to close the gap and save you in time. So you do need that one hero that is gonna be going deep into the enemy lines, and the Axe fits that perfectly. So I like the ban.
Navi's turn to ban.
Cybercats, they will ban out the Void Spirit. I would have thought they might want to ban like a Huskar or something along those lines, even though Melojule hasn't played it in the past. I think in this game in particular, you get something, you crush the Ember in the lane, you won the game. Because the two supports of Cybercats, these guys are not going to be making plays. This could be a Mars game. DK Focus plays a Mars. Let's see what they have played. Cybercats, this is going to be their 5th series, so they haven't played that much. He did play a Lycan on DK Focus, so that could be something that he pulls out. I wouldn't mind at all. Tidehunter, Primal Beast is pretty solid. I wouldn't hate a Primal Beast. He has played the Visage, so
10
classic
seconds
DK focus heroes, really. But Primal Beast looks good.
5
The Lycan
seconds
looks good.
remaining.
I would like those heroes that run in, right? Spirit Breaker is a bit of an issue for you, but you do have the Shadow Demon somewhat to deal with him. Yeah, the Visage also is most likely something they would want, but I would think Primal Beast is pretty good. Primal Beast, Lycan, or Visage. I think one of those three are probably going to be making an appearance here. If I would have to choose, it'd be a Primal Beast. It just looks really, really decent. A bit of annoying to play it versus the Rubik, but in general, it does make a lot of sense. Even if you're getting skewered, if your trample is out, you're going to be doing massive amounts of damage to any hero that is close to you. They do have the reserve time to think about it. I just don't think Visage is the way to go. It's way too static. You cannot move around the map, and you're going to be needing to do so. You cannot just expect the teammates to run towards you. But in general, it could be a good laning hero, which cybercats could rely on. Nah, Primal Beast is the top one for me. Like, still, out of the heroes that he has played so far. And DK Focus, we know that this guy can do well even in Division 1. We remember with Darkseid, when he was part of the team, they stayed in Division 1. Then once Blizzy joined and he got kicked, or I don't know, then they got eliminated.
Navi's
So there's something to this guy. But they'll go for the Visage. I mean, I like it laning wise, but I just think that in the mid game, Navi, they tend to apply pressure. And the Visage is a hero. He rotates cool. Now we go back and we reset. And then every single time the Visage is there, we just don't fight. That's it, right? And then the Morphling won't be able to get as farmed because Ember and these two are not really going to be creating all that much space. What's left? The mid hero. Like, I would literally go for something like a Huskar Viper just to destroy December. He loses the lane badly and you're screwed. But I don't know if Malajul wants to play something along those lines. He has played a lot of Storms and a lot of Pangos recently, so I don't know. Every single team gave him whatever he wanted. Queen of Pain is something he played as well, and that is not banned out at all. So that's another hero that could really bully the Ember if he wants to take that route. Yeah, I'm just looking at Pangos. Okay, Navi go for a Lycan. Is that gonna be a Melagil Magnus? Yep, it is gonna be. It's still a hero that kind of deals well with the Ember in the lane in general, because you have much better damage and good animation. Usually the Ember relies on his good animation and good damage to get a lot of CS even though he's being harassed. Versus the Magnus, that's just not gonna work. The offlane Lycan here, in general, it's good. Actually, I'd like to see a Helm of the Dominator with the Satyr Banisher. Because then you're gonna have the Purge versus the Pugna. You're gonna have the Purge versus the Ember. Even purging off the Disseminate of the Shadow Demon could be quite nice. I like this. I like this. I think long fights is something that Cybercats, they're good at, right? But they're gonna be needing to survive the Lycan form and then have an even longer fight. In those 20 seconds of the Lycan form, it's very hard to survive, to be honest. So I really like what Navi has. I think Cybercats, they have to be coming in with an outdraft to actually stand a chance here. The pressure that Navi can apply here, they have vision giving heroes, they have team fight, they have late game, their lanes are pretty solid. I think they have everything that you need. Maybe Lycan and the Rubik lane could be problematic, but no, actually, you have the Fade Bolt and the Howl versus a Morphling later on in the game, so that minus attack damage is gonna be huge. With that being said, guys, we are gonna be getting ourselves into the game, but before that, a word from our sponsors.
bets on esports, bets on streamers, impressive bonus system, welcome bonus up to $600, cashback, artifacts, regular promotions, daily giveaways. Try yourself as a bookmaker. Great lines. EGB.com, more than just a bookmaker.
Okay.
Game will start as, well, cybercats, they're in a smoke. 3 of them moving in the bottom lane. We're looking at the odds from EGB, heavily in favor of NAVI. No surprises there with their performance currently and losing only a single map. Not a series, a map during this Eastern European DPC, and they already played 5 series. It's pretty much obvious why they are the favorites against cybercats, who are 1 and 3.
A flash of inspiration.
Cybercats play versus good teams. Let's see. So they lost to Team Sexy. Okay. They lost to Navi Junior. That's a solid team as well. Who else? They lost to Storm. Yeah, I remember that series. I thought cybercats were coming into that one as the favorites. I think that's where I lost faith in cybercats quite a lot. The only team that they beat is Sibe, and they took a game from Navi Junior, which is solid. I like that, but all in all, they should not be able to stand their ground versus Navi. Though versus Navi Junior, they didn't manage to get a game, so Navi Junior almost beat Navi. You can see the possibilities there. Cybercats actually have a really good lineup, right? These are some amazing players. Young G, his mid lane is amazing. Dark Lord is a little bit so-and-so. He's a young new player, so it does make sense. He's not going to be doing that well. But DK Fogus, Force Majeure, and the Callis, these are all pretty decent players. So that is something that you do have to take into account. Even though they haven't had the greatest of starts, it doesn't have to mean that they are not going to be doing well in this in the DPC in general, right? So they still have 3 more games to play. You never know.
30 seconds to battle.
The Malady, if you'll be getting yourself into any kind of danger. The 2 heroes of cybercats are trying to show themselves in the mid lane, and we'll see if that does give a full sense of security to Navi as cybercats, they're coming over. Shigetsu would be a nice target if they can get on top of him. Seems like he's in a good position. The disruption won't be coming out, and Malady, he steals the bounty room. Let's see though, with just the 2 supports, there is a Visage in the vicinity, so you don't really want to fight, and Malady will run himself away. Where are his soul assumptions? It seems like he's dealing with Shigetsu there. DK Fogus wanted to apply the damage to the Muerta. He will do some, and actually will have to deny the bounty rune, making it a 2-for-1. Could have been a 3-for-1, but one of them does get denied. So DK Fogus, he wasn't chasing the first blood, but at least he prevented his enemies from getting the 3 runes. This is a good start to the bottom lane, for sure, because you'll already burn through a big chunk of the region of the Muerta and the Spirit Breaker. Mid lane should be Magnus Faye. Oh, Young G made a mistake there. Right-clicked on the Magnus, and this is gonna be punished by the tower a little bit. Top lane, in general, the Morphling should do well, but the Lycan's Howl is actually a big damage reduction. Attack damage reduction 25% at first level, 40 at the last one, 5% per level there. And if you count in the Fade Bolt, there's gonna be no damage for the Morphling, so they could be a nuisance to this Morph. We'll see though what Malik wants to max out, because you do want a couple of points of the Feral Impulse. As Daniel loses the career. It's kind of annoying if you're a support, but early careers only take a minute to respawn. It's bottom lane. It's gonna be dangerous here for Navi until minute 3-4. That's when your raindrops start coming out. Before that, you can see the DK Fogus still has a ton of mana to work with, as Dark Lord, he doesn't have a ton of HP to work with. Look at that. He's gonna have to CS with 38 damage. He is just having a horrid time here in the top. Malagil paused and he said ready. Okay, we knew you were ready. You didn't really have to pause. Nice. obscure. That's something that you have to be dealing with when you're a melee hero versus the Magnus. The Ember will get the bottom delivered, but already his HP is gonna be in a little bit of a trouble. That's just the deal when you use the Sleight of Fist. After that, you are in no way protected versus the Magnus, and it's showing in the denies. And see as though the Ember is still doing well for himself. Hello, Jewel. Now it's time to go for the Water Rune himself. The laning stage started off nice here for Navi. But you can see the Pugna has more CS than the Morphling. So in general, the top lane Ducalis is getting the CS, which isn't ideal, but at least somebody is getting all that gold when Dark Lord cannot. Force Majeure, he wanted the Healing Lotus. In the end, it's gonna be Malady that gets it very nicely done there. The disruption used on Shigetsu didn't really help their case all that much, and when it comes to the top one, it was picked up by Navi as well. So in that little bit of a regen war, Navi will be coming out as the victors. Usually these early games from Navi are super passive. Like there's absolutely no kills, or maybe one here and there, and that's about it. As Dark Lord, he's gonna be hearing the howl of Malik and his wolves, and he's definitely not gonna be too happy about it. They might kill these wolves, but imagine how many creeps this Morphling is just missing out on. Big surprise to me is the Ember versus the Magnus. Usually the Magnus does pretty well versus the Ember. I mean, if you count the CS and the denies, then the Magnus is doing better, but I'm expecting a little bit more versus the Ember. As Malady, he does have the Healing Lotus, probably not gonna die, but he will not be too happy about the current state of his HP. Getsu doing his best here to just get as much farm as possible. Guard through, Malady. I think you put yourself in a bad spot. You will eat the Blood Grenade, the Soul Assumption as well, and Force Majeure will finish him off. The calling comes out, but it doesn't really stop for Force Majeure from clenching his fist, making sure the Spirit Breaker falls. She gets to thinking about chasing him down. Really has no chance of doing so. He doesn't have the boots. Not the fastest of heroes in the game. Dark Lord, he is hating life right now. He has no damage. Literally, how do you even last it under a tower? Let's see. Oh, he's gonna get that one. What about the range? Okay, he has the adaptive strike. Okay. Finding ways in a bad situation. Even with all of those CS, the Pugna just had to buy a ton of regen just to keep the Morphling sustained. So he is gonna be struggling in terms of support. He's doing worse than the one that got killed, and he even has to be refilling bottles. He's the water boy for his team, and he is gonna be a water boy for the entirety of the game, just running around giving everybody life and mana. That's your life now. Imagine this Pugna as a hero. I used to be the big pusher, the guy that everybody was afraid of. As Pugna, Bates and Danielle here. Young G doesn't really have the chains, so he's not gonna even be attempting to finish off Danielle, who stands his ground, wants to kill the Nether Ward. Not gonna be happening. Ducalis will get the deny, making sure that all the gold doesn't go to the Rubik. It's Malady. You're playing with fire, my friend. Force Majeure. He sees him. He gets a disruption out. There's going to be 5 stacks on him as Daniel. Paid a little bit too long now. He's going to be paying with his life. Gets one of the misses on the high ground. If he connected with both of the attacks, the Pugna would have died. But it is what it is. 25%. It is going to mean that the luck was on the side of the Pugna. The cybercats get themselves another one. This time around, it will be the Ember that gets the kill, so pretty important. He is topping the network chart, and he is the space creator for cybercats. Malady disrupted. The Wisdom Moon won't go his way, as now it is time to TP out. himself away for now. Having a charge, he can rejoin the fight anywhere he likes. Lycan, he will almost have the Helm of the Dawn. Here comes the charge onto the Morphling. He hasn't died a single time, so in general, his lane hasn't gone the worst. Dark Lord, he's gonna be seeing this cow coming. The thing is, will he have enough HP? Oh, he made a mistake there. He didn't know, and now he thinks there's a ward, but it was actually the charge from the Spirit Breaker. Nicely done there from the Rubik, just waiting, and then getting the kill on the Morphling. So as soon as I saying, oh yeah, no, it's not the worst thing in the world, he's having a decent time, well, didn't look that way there. Charge is giving the vision. Hopefully they don't use a sentry, because that would be a big waste. And 50 gold, it's not the worst thing in the world. But considering that you do not have a lot of sentries to spend nowadays, I haven't played much Dota since 733, so I haven't gotten used to the amount of sentries. But I know the couple of games that I did play, it really did feel from the support role that you were crippled. Usually you could cover an entire area with wards and sentries. Now it doesn't really make much sense to do so. Yell gets given the mid lane a bit. Magnus, one of the fastest farmers in the jungle, with 4 points in the Empower. He's going to be doing a good job there. Malady, he cannot leave Shigetsu alone now, where DK Focus is level 6. And it will be a phylactery visage, as Young G is not going to be allowing Danielle to just stay there and farm in the mid lane. The Howl will be coming through, making sure that Young G doesn't do that much damage. He's going to have another Sleight of Fist in a second, as Danielle shows some amazing footwork, and the second that you miss your Sleight of Fist is the second that you're gonna be losing that kill for good. Young G, he doesn't want to let it go, but it is already over. You have lost the kill. Danielle will live. Very nicely done there. The two supports of Navi are gonna have some decent levels, because they're being given some lanes. As cybercats, they can't really do it. You leave the Pugna, you leave the Shadow Demon, they die way too easily. Let's say to the Lycan, he runs them down, no issue whatsoever. Then Visage cannot really leave a lane. That is also a problem, and the Ember can go around being annoying, but your supports want to be helping the Visage, because now would really be a bad time for him to die. The Morphling has been found. Lycan uses his ulti. He's waiting for the waveform to go somewhere. Dark Lord, he's waiting, and there it is, running away. The Wild Wing Ripper has the Hurricane there, but they will not be chasing any longer. The idea is get him out of this lane, maybe get the kill, but the tower is the main thing that they're helping them for quite some time now, and will be able to claim it most likely. Speaking of towers, cybercats are still looking to be the first ones that do it. And with the Visage and the Pugna, their pushing power is actually quite high. Ember is on the top lane, so they lost their bottom tower on Navi, and the question still remains if this one on the top will fall while the Ripper doing its best to do it. With Hurricane getting himself out, Malady, he will try to go for a charge, but it was only onto the bird, so he's most definitely dead there with the disruption. It won't last that long, just like his life, that won't last that long. Malady will die for the second time in this game. No chances of getting himself out, as the Ember did his best to protect the top tier 1, but in the end it will be all in vain. Some nice stacks, 3 points in the Flame Guard on the Ember. He didn't really go for a killing build, he went more for a farming one, which is the safer choice, but you're going with a farming build versus a Magnus Muerta Lycan. We'll see how well he can do with the Morphling here, but the thing is that Muerta is an intelligence hero, right? So yeah, the Morphling can steal those stats, it's nice, but the hero just doesn't hurt as much as, let's say, an agility hero versus the Morphling or the reversal one. So most likely you are going to be turning into the Magnus in general. Nice lift up there from the Rubik. I don't know if he lives because of it, but he did get damn close just because of the beautiful lift on the creep. Then he will die. Melojule, he will be going forward. Nice disruption just in the nick of time, but they're coming from all sides, surrounding you, and now even the ghosts are surrounding you. Is it your own brethren? that were murdered and now were turned into ghosts by Navi, who baited cybercats into such a bad fight. Even that disruption saving them from the instant RP didn't change anything from every side. Navi collapsed and Navi destroyed cybercats, and immediately they're dispersing to go for farm. I really like this. This is what I've noticed in Division 2 being a big problem. A team wins a fight and then they're like, oh, let's stay here and celebrate, woohoo, balloons, everything, you know. Nope. Navi, they're playing fast. They immediately disperse. They go for all the farm that they can get, push out the waves, and they're ready for a next engagement even a second after that fight is over. Okay, they won't have their ultis, but they're still gonna have the positioning ready to at least dodge a fight if they see it as something they don't want to take. And now you immediately see that the smoke from cybercats wasn't slow, wasn't bad. It's actually probably not going to be as effective as you would like it to be, because Navi already dealt with the lane. Still, Malik is a little bit out of position. He is looking quite dead. He'll go for the howl, but that's not really going to help you survive here. Dark Lord will finish him off with that 2 strike, and you get an extra 100 gold there onto the little dominated creep.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Camp stacked. Look at Muerta. Just doing it all for herself. I'm actually surprised they don't have more camp stacked. I guess the Shadow Demon, of course, is the best one on the map to do the stacking, but you have a Magnus on your side, so you would expect there to be more stacks there for Navi. I'm surprised that Malik got caught by that move. That was a mistake of his. The lanes were in a good position. You knew that they were missing, and you are gonna be a target most likely. Yep. This is how EGB sees it. Team Melody wants to stop him from stealing the rune, and he will. No wisdom for you. The Ember will run himself away. I haven't seen. Do they have new voice lines for wisdom runes? You know, like the Ember has the deceptive rune of invisibility or something along those lines. Would be cool for an Ember. Fun fact, most of the people probably know it. Every line of an Ember Spirit has 4 words in it. If you want to check, go to Google and find those. Find the voice lines of the Ember. You're gonna see that all of them are 4-word lines. That's pretty cool. As cybercats are in the smoke again, they would like to kill the Lycan once more. He will be turning into a wolf, making him run away faster. Anyway, you can stop him, Malady. Disruption will be keeping him in place. As Dark Lord comes over, he will be trying to get the kill, as Young G says, nope, mine. He was the one that stopped the charge with the chains. He's the one that deserves the kill, it seems. This is the thing that Navi does. They give away some random kills sometimes, but on the enemy side of the map. In general, those kills don't mean much to the enemy team in terms of increasing their economy, but they do give the info to Navi. So it's much better for him to die in the enemy jungle than for Malik to die when he's pushing out a wave. I don't think that was necessary, but it does give the space to Navi. Speaking of space, the Morphling has had quite a lot of it, right? He's close to the top of the net worth chart. He's working towards the Manta. We'll have it almost done in like 1,000 gold. And that's big. And DK Focus, he has been getting some nice items. Phylactery, Solar Crest, and now the drums will be done fairly soon as well. They're getting there. The cores of cybercats are finally starting to fight Navi over their top positions there on the network chart. Gee, the calling bolt silencing. If the dead shot had connected, maybe you get the lift from the Rubik. Melojul just bought a blink dagger. We could be seeing a dead Ember, but he will be getting himself out. Malady, Spirit Breaker things. I don't know if it's a Spirit Breaker thing that you're dead, because he has been dead quite a lot here. He has died more times than his team has kills, and Now you're probably gonna look at him. Come on, Melody, stop feeding. And they found the morphling. He doesn't get the morph off. He will not be getting anything off as Danielle zaps him to death. Shigetsu even went for Pierce the Veil, but I don't even know if he got a single hit in there.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
By 3 cap is still showing one from previous engagement straight into the pit. You do have a Lycan on your side, so this is not going to be a hard thing to take as mid lane. They're trying to kill Malady again, or he's trying to die again, and he will most likely be successful in his attempt to go down. He will be surviving in the end, though. It seems like only 4 points of the poison stacks on him, and that will allow him to live through the damage. So he does get himself away finally. I don't know what's bigger, Roche dying or actually Malady finally surviving an attempt onto his life. As we mentioned, Navi, they do tend to keep the game pretty slow up until a point. Now when they have the Aegis, maybe that point has finally come when we will see a bit more aggression coming out from the top dogs here in the Eastern European DPC Division 2. If they win this one, they will be guaranteed to go forward in Division 1, so that's quite huge. They're already 5-0, so we're expecting them to go through anyways. Malady, well, last time he was dealing with only 2 supports, so when there's a core involved, his life will always be taken. Shigetsu goes back to the bottom lane, where his laning buddy has been slain for the 6th time in this game. He's like he just wants to have more deaths than his team has kills. Like, my team are noobs. They can't even get as many kills as my deaths. Which, to be frank, Malady, it's a hard thing to do. You're really making your team work for it. So Dark Lord, he will have an Aghanim Scepter in pretty short amount of time, because like nobody's stopping him from farming, and he's one of the fastest farmers here. Plus, he's the only one that's really taking it up. If you look at Navi, all 3 of their cores want to be smacking the jungle, whereas Morphling is the only one. The other ones are only going to be hunting mostly, or at least won't be able to take as many camps as he can in the short amount of time. Whereas on the side of Navi, Lycan, Muerta, Magnus, I don't know who's greedier actually. The game is quite even in terms of net worth though, so no big differences there. Navi's still favored to win with the 60% win probability. It does make sense when you have this greedy of a lineup. As things progress, it is gonna be getting easier for you, and especially with the Magnus on your side, and even the Lycan versus these squishy supports, you can just gobble them up. Like, what is a Shadow Demon, a poor Shadow Demon, gonna do versus him? And probably there's gonna be a point at which he gets a nullifier. Yeah, he's already working towards it. Just wants to make sure that the crap doesn't annoy him whatsoever. As tier 2 will fall. Cybercats, they don't even blink at protecting it, as Malady, oh, he steals the Arcade Rune and runs away. What now, guys? Huh, Cybercats? You couldn't kill Malady. Not again, at least.
Dire's bottom tower is
The Tormentor gets taken down. Navi, they secure a shard for Danielle. A nice one for Rubik. Has the Lotus Sword. Bullwhip there as well, just to make sure that the mana and the HP regen are up to the standards. The experience is looking good here for Cybercats. It's actually in their favor. If I saw that correctly.
Tower is under attack.
Cybercats are ahead in experience, 200 experience in their favor. It's around 2 levels. Nice.
Dire are
As they're now in the smoke with a BKB on an Ember, so very much battle ready on Cybercats. But well, wanting battle and being able to force it are 2 completely different things. Malik is gonna have a nullifier fairly soon. Navi, they're just making sure that they have those shards. Shigetsu gets dangerously low, but Melojul secures the shard for himself. So that's gonna be, if I'm not mistaken, that's the shockwave that's returning. That's true. Hitting enemies the second time for 50% of the damage. And the cast range is kind of insane. Used to be his Aghanim Scepter. They switched it. Malady. Malady. Survive, my friend. Oh, nice. Nice stun there from DK Focus. The familiar stun, stone form, really came out in the nick of time. Magnus was the lowest of the cores in terms of net worth, and then he gets the shard, and he's the highest. The shard doesn't really increase his power all that much, but it's nice to have. It's nice to feel appreciated. Malik, he hasn't been feeling appreciated because he was topping the network charts fairly soon, and now he's not number 1 any longer. But he does have a big item being the bar. When is the Morphling gonna finish that Aghanims? Okay, one more component. 700 gold are what he's missing. Melojule, Harpoon, Blink, RP. Who wants a piece of this guy? Big Mammoth. He's gonna be hunting, but not really that good of a predator, mammoths, right? They were herbivores. They can still trample you. They can still skewer you.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
The Melojule will go back to farming. And it's tower time. Aegis did expire, but now Muerta has the Hurricane Pike. Top lane, Pugna is being charged. The question is, will he get out in time? He does have the Glimmer Cape. Dusts on Malady, not available. He does have a sentry though. We'll be placing it down. The Kal is trying to escape. He's doing his best. He has a really fast little skeleton. Doesn't have that much weight to him. Like, how does this cow run so fast? Muscles, baby, muscles. That's what you need to put on those bones. Not sure how it will work for the Pugna Melojule. He will be finding the Pugna. He knows that he is there. They finally use the dust and the Grapify. Let's see just how much that will save using the Pugna wards. Make sure he doesn't have the mana for the life drain. He'll get bashed up, skewered down, and finally brought to justice. It seems Malady, not the one that gets the kill. He was probably hoping that he gets some revenge there. His Force Major, now he's being charged as well. Here comes the wolves. They are hungry. The Nullifier will connect, meaning you're no scepter. It will not do a single thing, and the Rubik even tosses a dinosaur at you. That's kind of annoying. The Ancient Thunderhide, quite a big fella, just flying to your face. Not something that you're going to be able to survive. Shigetsu uses this time to just go high ground. He is using the stolen shadow poison as vision, and he does have the range necessary with the Hurricane Pike just to make sure that the tower is getting taken down, chipped down as much as possible. The Gunslinger is just a very annoying spell for towers, and they have an Empower as well. So look at this Muerta's damage, 250 per hit. Magnus has 280 because of reasons. We're not allowed to question. Cybercats, they're questioning the authority of Navi. How dare you? Might be ahead in gold, but we have more kills. We have more drive. You just stole our cattle. You killed our cows a little bit. Now when the owners are here, what are you gonna do? He lifts himself up, tosses him away, has the Lotus Orb to help him escape. And not really gonna be helping all that much. That shot will give a little bit of a space to him, and he steals the Sleight of Fist. So it did take them some time to get the kill, but they will in the end finish it off either way. So Rubik struggling for nothing, struggling for a little bit of time though, which is always nice to have a bit of extra in Dota. Lycan sees 3 healing lotuses, makes a great one. So 400 HP mana, so gonna be able to regenerate at a moment's notice. Morphling, he has his Aghanim Scepter, thinking about a BKB. We'll see if that's something that he goes through with, but we really haven't seen him morph into an important hero. Most likely you turn into a Magnus. Makes the most sense. Taking away 40% of his stats is just huge.
Dire are scanning.
That's a big item for Cybercats. The AC from the Visage. He's level 15 as well. +1 armor corruption to Visage and Familiars, which is huge. The damage can ramp up pretty quickly if you get on top of the right target. And the AC, it really does change things, at least until the Lycan gets his, which he is relatively close to, but not just yet. Magnus, BKB done. Lincoln's next on the menu. Lincoln is most likely for the Morphling because there's not many things that can break your Lincolns, really. Shadow Demon has spells. The Pugna has spells, but in general, these heroes are not going to be getting too close to you. Roche up. Melojule has a DD. Roche has no chance of surviving for longer than 10 seconds. Cybercats, they're not going to be waiting those 10 seconds to smoke up, but they needed to do so a little bit earlier if they wanted to be here in time. The Roche will fall. Shigetsu will have an Aegis. His Malady is going to be charging through. He sees his enemies for the time being there. Still doesn't have a talent on his level 10, so we'll see if he'll be going for the night vision. Definitely would have come in handy there, as they're going to be leaving familiars, going to be leaving the Morphling illusions. But this Lycan, his wolf, it's chasing. It will be dying though. The lifespan of wolves not that high. Callis nullified. They're coming for him. Disruption will save him for the time being as DK Fogo slow down with the bullwhip. He will be able to waddle himself away. Rather fly himself away. Even resummons the bird, seeing as Navi could probably bring them down with ease with just a couple of shots from Shigetsu.
Radiant's middle tower.
Only
is
one
under
outer tower
attack.
left. I'm guessing that's going to be the objective Navi are going to be looking at as they found the Ember. If that shot connects, there's going to be an Nether Blast as well as the lift from the Rubik. Just enough damage to finish off Young G. And you're an Ember. And you got hit by a Spirit Breaker.
Dire's top tower
Does
is
not
under
have a Shadow Blade. Like, it's not like he surprised you. He literally rammed his head into you. You could have escaped at any point.
Dire's top tower.
But you
has
were greedy. You stay there, and you will pay the price. It was close, though. They comboed everything perfectly. That shot, the
Dire's
strike,
top
the lift.
tower is under attack.
Just a little bit of overlap there between all of those. But with the Ember being dead, that's your main fighting hero. Both the Morphling and the Visage have more net
Dire's
worth.
top tower
Morphling
is
wants to
under
finish the
attack.
BKB. Once you're finishing that, you're not going to have a tier 3, and at least you're going to have another glyph. Let's see, Navi, Shigetsu, start doing the damage. Melojule jumps in. The Harpoon not going to be in range there. It was very, very close. The glyph coming through as the Emperor back. He did have a buyback, didn't want to use it. The Lycan will be using the form. Disseminate is on the Lycan. He's making sure the Raxes, at least the range ones, go down. Ooh, they're gonna be still alive for the time being. But the Ancient Black Dragon is thinking about going in to finish the job. As the calling will be used by Shigetsu. The Wolves finish off the range Raxes. As Dark Lord is finishing off the Wolves. Finally, the backdoor protection will kick in. But Shigetsu doesn't look like he's gonna be going back. Callis gets himself away just in time as Shigetsu with Yuriki Fight gets out. But he will be taking down the ones. Young G has the BKB, will be getting himself out for now. They still have the RP on Navi. Shigetsu just jumps himself away. He does have the Blink Dagger to keep himself alive. Doesn't want to risk anything in there just to finish things off. But the Raxes will be finished off by the Wolves from the Lycan, so at least they will be getting themselves a lane of Rax. They're still behind in kills. Cybercats, they probably feel like with a good angle they could fight, but they just cannot find that good angle. Turned into a Spirit Breaker, so it puts a lot of emphasis on the status instances. He's going for Melojule, who at the moment has the RP. To be very careful. Shigetsu coming in as Dark Lord's running away, but there comes the real cow. Nice Manta dodge, but he gets the bash right after it, and they will go for the RP. But the BKB was not, so Morphin isn't going to be going down. He's living through all of this, turning around and actually wants to finish off the Spirit Breaker. He will be able to do so in the end. The disruption of the Shigetsu, those illusions can be cleared out immediately, and here comes the Cure. DK Focus, he does have the stone form, but you're coming out of that one, and then you're not gonna be stone any longer. You are gonna be ashes, my friend. Turns around, actually finishes off the Spirit Breaker. He didn't expect that there was a ward there on the high ground. We're just waiting there for the extra experience, and because of it, he will pay the price. Nice heads up play coming out from DK Focus to get that kill, despite being 100% dead in the moment. Looked pretty much a bad position for him, and in the end it was. He died as a corp, but killing somebody while you're going down will make you feel slightly better if you're DK Focus. Still, old lead for Navi, just increasing. The amount of the map that they control is almost 100%. Cybercats, they cannot leave their base. They cannot protect their tormentors. They cannot protect anything. Navi is getting away with anything that they want, and they will be getting another tormentor. Malady, now he has a planner pocket, so he will be able to protect his
Dire
teammates
are
from
scanning.
different things. Disruption, demonic purge. Those are all nice things. Even the decrepify, life drain. Like, there's so many spells that could hit you. Planar pocket is also the magic resistance is nice in these fights for sure. Those were 2 9-second BKBs from cybercats, 1 9-second one from Navi. General, you could say that that was the strongest that cybercats were gonna get, and they still fell short, quite a lot short as well. The experience, not even that is in favor of cybercats any longer. It just feels so easy for Navi. And it all comes down to how well they're dispersing from team fights to farming, to team fights and to farming. You can see how something so basic can have big implications. Muerta now gets a shard. That's going to be a lot of lifesteal that he's going to have during his Pierce the Veil. And all your damage is magical at that point, so the spell lifesteal will definitely come in handy. And you're gonna have level 20, so the gunslinger 20% will be there as well. This Muerta is reaching critical mass, not there just yet, but will be there in no time, pretty much after the next fight. Some of these teams, you know, they need to watch Navi. You're in the same division, you're playing games versus these guys, and they're beating you with no issue whatsoever. Though I did not like the Visage. I think it made them kind of crippled with the Bang is going in. He does have a cheese in his backpack, but he might need it here if he wants to survive. Ember, I have no idea what he was doing, but in the backlines, you're always going to be in trouble. That was without an RP. Dark Lord at least turning into the Magnus, who's going to be doing a ton of damage. Malik is running in there, slowing down the doggy, but the doggy is hungry. So here comes a cow. Time to look at his buddy go down. The only thing that is left for Malik is going to be the ancient Granite Golem, giving a little bit of HP to his teammates. Meliju, thinking about jumping in. He does go in, has the cheese still, not going to be using that, not going to be using the harpoon, and the fight will end in a 1-for-1 with Malik overextending, and this could have been a good push from Navi. So you can see even with the mistakes, some basic mistakes that Navi keep on making in these games, with just basic movements, they are winning with ease. They are winning with ease, and I'm liking that they're going for these aggressive moves, because once you get into Division 1, this is not going to be enough to stay there or to even go to the major. And I think this team might have potential of beating some of the top teams in Division 1 with more experience under their belt, because they are all very talented on these 5 players in Navi. The thing is that those small plays there matter a lot more, right? Giving a like and kill like that, giving that like and kill when cybercats were ganking him is a big deal. All of those things will matter in Division 1. So I'm liking that Navi are going a little bit forward to see the boundaries of the lineups of the heroes and test them out. And it's definitely going to help you if you're discussing playstyles versus Division 1 teams, of course. I have no idea when the next DPC season will be active, because we have TI qualifiers, then we have TI, right? There's just so many things. Who knows if it is this year? It's gonna be at the tail end of it once the winter does come, and the summer has only started. Some people would say instead of going to the beach and stuff, you're staying home watching Dota. Of course I'm staying home watching Dota, because it's the most fun thing to do, right? Those generations before us, they didn't have Dota, so they had to go to the beach. We don't have to go to the beach, so we don't have to have those summer bodies. We can just eat as much food as we like, and then we can sit in our rooms and watch Dota. Oh, that's a nice move from Malady. And RP only connecting onto 1. Plus, he will be going into the stone for another big of a deal, but they found Dark Lord taking a lot of damage. Harpoon doesn't really pull him in, so he's going to be fine. In the end, the Pugna will be going down. The disruption saves the Morphling for the time being. The Chang-Chi goes into the backlines already. He has felt the damage from Muerta already once. And we'll pierce the veil. You have to run away. Shigetsu has been caught, and he will be taken down. No way he's going to be surviving through all of this. Navi, they've lost 3 with only 1 buyback being used from cybercats. Melachur, that RP of his was really underwhelming. And with this Roche, you are going to be keeping the dream of winning game number 1 alive here for cybercats. Only 1 lane of racks has fallen so far, so Navi, 2 fights in a row, The previous one, they overextended, so they couldn't push. And this one, they just dropped the ball with some of their spells. Muerta did amazing amounts of damage, but the Magnus, a mid lane Magnus, does 445 damage. That is just him not having impact in the game. Like, him and the two supports of Navi did nothing in that fight.
Dire's middle tower has
As this is
fallen.
gonna be then Aegis onto the Morphling Cheese and Refresher into the pockets of the Ember Spirit. Very, very
Dire's
huge.
middle barracks are
The
under attack.
Morphling now has the Satanic, and next item gonna be some Daedalus to do more damage. Ember doesn't currently have an Aghanim Scepter, but once he does, that's when that Refresher will really come in handy if he saves it until that point. I'm pretty sure Navi wants to fight now as fast as possible, especially once they get the RP. He almost has that Ags. 350 gold away. Thing is, when you buy it, no more buyback. Buybacks are going to be very, very important in these game races. And this Magnus should be doing a gazillion damage. Like, he has 450 per hit. Muerta has almost 300 without the empowers. Malik finishes off the Collis. It's gonna be a 4 versus 5 scenario. They did find him with the disruption, but help is coming. You need to run, Force Major. You already used your disruption, so you don't have a save. Malady will gladly give his life for yours. Threatening with the RP. Melajul doesn't want to use it on one hero yet again. Or even worse, to miss everybody or use it onto a target that is Stone from Darker, turning into that Spirit Breaker, who is now dead. And the only cow left. And the RP into the backlines. Now he's gonna be bringing them in with Muerta, just shooting everybody. That gun, it is dangerous. The Mortal will be left all alone. Help me, Young G, help me. Now the Satanic is gonna help you one bit. Actually, he's winning the fight. Darkor standing his ground, finishing off Malik, and he's doing the best he can. But Shigetsu comes back in, and with the charges coming through, this will be a wipe. If they can get on top of Young G, and Daniel with the Solar Remnants will be chasing him until he finds him, lifts him up into the air for Melajul to close the gap with the Harpoon and end the life of his mid lane counterpart as Navi destroy cybercats in that fight, finding the two supports at the start of it, killing the Shadow Demons twice, and putting an end to this game number 1 that for a second there after the third Roche fight could have turned into Cybercat's favor. But Navi showing they know how to approach these fights in the in and around the mid lane. Win it for himself. Charge onto the poor Visage. They'll finish him off. He Focus have no chances of living there, and they will find the Collis. Even though he raised the white flag, they will not be accepting your troops. Navi will destroy every single one of your heroes, and the throne will fall right after it. Very solid performance from Navi. Really, you could see mistakes in their gameplay, but I think after this kind of performance, unless Cybercats are completely dominating the game or completely dominate the draft, their ability to win versus Navi is really not there. You could see through movements, just basic movements. With one hand, Navi could play that game. They made a couple of mistakes with their spells. They overdived a couple of times, and still not even for a second, not even for 1 second did it look close here. So Navi playing really well here versus Cybercats, who are going to continue to struggle after they lose this series. If they lose this series, they're going to be 1-4, and there's going to be a lot of pressure for them in the 2 last series that they are going to play here in the Eastern European DPC Division 2. But nothing is over in this first series of the day. Cybercats, they might have lost game number 1, but game number 2 will be coming up after the break.